Billy.
Hi. Hello. And welcome to the Partner Panel. I'm assuming everybody's seen it, right? Like the patch, read it, etc. Got your mental notes. Your mental notes.
Oh yes, definitely good to go.
All right, now.
I hope Ryan's seen it.
Could you imagine? Makes it doesn't read it. Read it. All right. So I'll tell you what. I actually like this weekly update better than the last weekly update. Like I know you guys saw whenever I was first starting on it. Like I was like very like right. You know, I wasn't really vibing it too much. But this one as a whole, I'm actually enjoying a lot more from different areas. Let's start off here in the beginning because it says we continue to make progress with the next patch. We're currently in the testing phase, aiming for a March release. Now, I don't know about you guys. I learned my English in a book, like I was saying a second ago. March release for what is the question? Game release? Update release?
For patch 13.
Patch 13, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I took it as.
Well, I don't know. I gotta ask.
I'm just saying that's what I took it as. I could be wrong, but that's what I took it as.
Oh, man. No, it does say anything can happen during the testing. Patch may be pushed to next month. I mean, we still got a couple weeks. Who knows?
Right.
Deeply appreciate our community's patience as they wait for the next big update to hit fall. Working hard every day to ensure that it's worth the wait. So at least we know, unless there's some hurdle that comes up, which is possible, it's coming in the next month. Now, do you guys actually think it's gonna be successful? Now, I know that Ryan, your opinion might be biased, but I know for a fact you're not the one working on the update. So you can also give your opinion. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm hopeful for it, but you never know.
I don't want to say too much because, I mean, from what I've played and what I've tested, I am incredibly stoked, and I could go off about how stoked I am on everything like mad, but I don't want to set a bar too crazy for other people that might not get the same experience out of it. So it's, but personally, I mean, the input buffering, the ability casting system changes, a lot of the stuff that we've been testing feels amazing. Like I was the one who took that Gideon GIF, and that GIF actually started as me just being, holy crap, this feels amazing, taking a video and showing it to the team. Like, look what I just did.
It looks nice.
That video wound up turning into the update content.
Dude, I'll be real with you, man. That's probably my favorite GIF of the entire, or like the favorite piece of content is the fact that you see everything so smooth and everything. I kind of low-key wish it was a video, not a GIF. You know, like a quick little 5-second video that we're throwing in there, but I don't know how that would go.
Are we sponsored by peanut butter? I just want to know. We keep calling it a GIF. I just wanted to know.
Oh my god, bro! You can hold on. No. You can look it up. The creator of
I'm just giving you a hard time. I don't care.
No, I know, but I'm saying you can look it up. The creator actually says it was intended to be called GIF, just like the peanut butter. It's just everybody's like, it's a GIF, and I'm like, sure.
Sure.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying what I learned in a book.
I think what we could do about this March release, I think it could work out perfect. If we could release shortly coming up this next week, like let's say Tuesday, Ryan, all right, let's bring this patch Tuesday, and that'll give us time to test it. And then that'll also give the devs time to get the map. The community give us the community time to test it. And then that'll give the devs time to work on the map, and we can release the map on April 1st. All right. And then that'll give us time to test it. And then full release. So the map release could be, we call it a full release.
Yeah. So you're suggesting the map and the patch update to be separate?
Yes.
Why?
Right. Yeah, because I don't think they're the same thing. I think they are separate. I think the new
map isn't part of 13.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the Tuesday we get the 13. April 1st, we get the map, and not a full release. We'll call it a full release, but it's not and then on April 26th, we get full release. No longer early access, we're full release 3 years later after Paragon passed away.
Oh, I see what you're doing there. You're trying to make it like a symbolic type of day. sort of thing going down. Man, forget that. I don't care about that. I give zero. I don't care like about the Paragon Day. Like if it's a day before, the day after, I'm like, man, it will be all right. I'll be real with you, man. I completely forgot that day was even a thing. I mean, I don't know, man. Because for me, quite frankly, all these changes, like, you know what? I'm actually kind of curious. Why do you guys think they decided to reinvent the ping system? Because I didn't necessarily have a gripe
Ping
with
system's currently kind of broken. Like, it's really clunky to use. So I think a lot of the feedback logs contain ping system complaints. So they had to address that.
We wanted, I guess you guys normally like tend to like speculate on stuff that's out in the patch, but with me here, I guess that kind of kills it a bit, doesn't it?
I mean,
Killing the vibe, Ryan.
kind of, but here's the thing. Now, the real question is, do you or would you be? Because I know that you know why a lot of stuff is happening.
Yeah,
but
we
then
actually, sorry, for the ping thing, exactly. We put out something, I think it was devblog 1. It was actually the first dev blog from Fresher himself. We spoke about why we wanted our own ping system. And it's essentially we're trying to sort of mix the feel more of the third person MOBA, like the actual feel of it to like hit everybody.
The immersiveness.
Yeah, because you don't want like a ping system from like a top-down style because it's not the same thing. You know, your information's perceived in a different way. So you want to be able to still be in the heat of your battle in the third person thing where you have to like basically react to everything around you, and not have your ping system be detrimental to that in any way. So you want to be able to like ping, I need help, while you actually need the help. So having a much more fluid and quick ping system with visuals that pop up to let everybody know where and what is happening, it's definitely something we wanted to improve.
I think too, like, so the ping system looks like you primarily have to be using, like you activate C to bring up the wheel, and then after that you're mostly using your mouse.
Yeah,
which
so you can continue walking forward or moving
which
around.
is like the only thing you can do in like a third person MOBA, like you said, because you still have to be moving and using abilities and getting away. So using the mouse just to ping everything is better than using your keyboard.
Getting used to those pictures is going to be something else. Because I don't know if you guys noticed, there's pictures that are in there now for the icons.
Yeah, you caught it.
Like attack is a person with a circle around it and a dot in the bottom. I'm like, which one's attack?
I wonder too, Ryan.
Oh no, that's notified. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's
know if you can
notified.
answer
Attack
this,
is the arrow. Go ahead.
Oh, I was wondering too if there's gonna be a lot more options for pings, such as like enemy ultimate down, out of mana, on my way, or just already on my way, but like some other things like
you modify your own ping system possibly.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if there's like a lot more options for pings, or is it the same things that we currently have?
I think modifying your own would probably be a bit too complex and everything.
I
don't think it's a bad idea to go maybe a little bit more in depth depending on the ping. Like for example, like attack raptors, it doesn't necessarily have to be attack raptors only. You could have a on my way to raptors, or you get what I'm saying? Just have more related to those.
Enemy ultimate, that would be a really good one to have.
There are definitely more options than what we previously had, but I haven't gone through it enough to know exactly what they are at this moment. But I'm sure we could always like list stuff out, because like the patch notes that come out for this we're thinking it's probably going to be a combination of a dev blog and patch notes. It's going to be like one super doc of patch notes, because we're going to have to explain like everything in the HUD that's new, and there's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff that we still haven't shown yet as well, that we still have to go over. Like all the icons that people have to get used to. We want to make like a little sort of wiki page of it right in the patch notes so that people understand and can like study them. But we should be able to list like the other stuff from the ping system in there too.
That's like my biggest, like looking at it, I'm like, the ping system we have now, you bring up, so you hit C, you bring it up, and I was like, I can read the words. I know what, all right, I need to go notifies here. And then now you're looking at it, the only time you can see that word is if you hover over it. So you'll have to, it's something you're going to have to get used to know where you're going to want to go to get to the next step.
The pictures.
it's definitely.
I think that's muscle memory though. With like playing the game, the more you play the game, it's like your pings are just like do, like you know where they are and how to hit them.
Oh, for
as
sure.
long as you play.
Yeah.
But
I could see why they did it though, because think of it like this: whenever your command comes up, if you look at the one at the bottom, because there's just like an I need help and stuff, but they could easily throw in there, be like, hey, for this command, like after defend left, you could see like the individual icons that activated that pattern. I know Smite does something similar, so where you can be like, hey, if anybody else wants to use a be right back, they know it's click left 2-3 times.
like shortcuts,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
like
way,
remembering
it
your-
yeah,
Paragon
you
had
could
that
study it.
back when it was on PlayStation. You could do it was like X square triangle X, and that's how that somebody put up the need help, whatever it was,
yeah, there's
It would
some
let you
things
know.
that
the
like
code, but
there's some things I don't remember by muscle memory, like don't chase. I don't use that one ever, but I see that other people use it. And like if you can see
Don't
how
chase,
to
the
get to
spam
don't
retreat.
chase, other people can copy don't chase, don't chase, don't chase.
Yeah, I almost forgot about that. We used to meme each other. I think it might have been like X square X or something was good job. So we would just send X square X to each other and like DMs and stuff.
there you go.
Yeah,
Good
that's
times.
funny.
So,
Yeah,
I do have
dude,
to say
the
though,
PlayStation days.
the actual notification that comes across the screen, I'm liking it. I know me and Russ were talking about before, we wanted to have it stay on the screen longer. It looks like it stays on screen for about 5 seconds if we count it, but it also goes down if we have multiple
like giving it a
things going
priority
on. Yeah,
on top.
and then so I like it. It's looking like we're and again I think it can be adjusted. Like maybe if it's still not long enough, we can keep that ping on screen a little bit longer, but I think 5 seconds right now should be good to go.
The one thing I would say that the one thing I would say about that is that is not the only animation that pops up when you ping somebody.
Okay.
There's more.
But there's
more
going to be
than
the
just that
in-screen
to show
animation,
you.
right?
Yeah, there's more things to show up to like let you know. And also another little feature you might notice in the ones that are popping up in the bottom GIF is there's 3 dots underneath some of them, and those dots represent the lanes. So if the shield, so if the shield's all the way to the left dot, that means left lane. If the shield's in the middle, it's mid lane for
Right.
defend mid. Yeah, it's a cool little icon system so that your eyes can like pick it up quick.
Yeah, that's good.
Nice. Yeah, that is really cool actually.
So eventually you won't even need the text. You'll just see that icon and know.
Yeah,
know
like I
what
said,
it
it's
is.
just like you just remember
Yeah.
how to do it.
Yeah, you'll see
But it's still
shield.
good for like new players that maybe don't play the game a lot, that don't have like muscle memory on the pings. They can still figure it out pretty easily, I think.
Right.
Now, the ending screen though,
I was just looking at it. Yeah.
can I just say I really like it, but I have one
Yes.
little bit of feedback on it.
What's that?
Am I the only one that actually wants to see the total gold per team?
Total
like
gold per team.
Because I like that you can now see the favor per aspect. Like if they got I
The
know those are
Raptors
fake
up there
numbers.
now.
Yeah, you can see how many
You got
Raptors
the
they've grabbed and
Raptors up
everything.
They got. I love that.
Looks like how many
Sure.
inhibs they're down and stuff, but like
yeah, the gold
total
difference
gold.
is good information to have.
Yeah, it
Be
doesn't
like,
seem.
why
It doesn't
did
have
we lose?
gold. It doesn't have gold, but it has total CS of the team. It looks like.
Yeah,
But
like I'd like to see individual gold still, because that's
Mhm.
something that I'm noticing isn't here. I don't know if
Right.
it's gonna be, but
That's
and I
good
know
point.
this is an ending screen, but usually ending screens and scoreboards are very similar.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I still would like to see how much gold they have individually, and then how much gold total as a team also.
Right.
Because like low key, if I'm
Yep.
looking at the gold difference and like their entire team is 3,000 gold above us, yeah, we shouldn't fight. I'm gonna just be real with y'all. We should not
Yeah.
fight. Sometimes the items can be misleading. Don't fight, bro. We're gonna lose that.
Yeah, it's definitely something I'll bring up. I love the fact that we have this now because people can like add each other after game. They can report
Yes.
players if they
Yes,
need to
I
after
saw that.
game. And it's also
Add a
not like
report.
abruptly, it's not core explosion abruptly back to the main menu. Like you choose when you go back to the main menu. which
Yeah.
is nice about
Got it.
Yeah.
I love that thing.
and
'Cause
Yeah.
and you something here that different from the old one to this one is it does show you your aspects, but you don't know, like you have to know what the symbol is for the aspect to know what aspect they chose.
Mhm.
Like you can see Fresher, he definitely went all red, but you don't know which reds he did unless you know the symbol
Correct.
for that.
Which
That's
implies
true.
that the
One that
aspects are
literally
going
said
to
they
have
gave you
their
the
own
blue
icons
square-
now.
blue square with the
Aspect icon
words.
rework. RIP.
Yep.
Confirmed.
I mean, there's only 3 aspects per
No, there is, but so you'd be, so you just have to know. You have to know what they are to be able to know. All right, so if you want to look back, like, all right, how did he play? Oh, he played this. What aspects is he using? Like, okay, wait, which one's that? Which one's this? So,
I mean,
go ahead.
We can see all 3 red ones, at least 3 specific red ones right now. There, you got the broken sword, you got a sword with a bow, and then a sword with some grass. It's what it looks like, to be honest, like an arrow.
You can't really confirm it right now, but I would think that because we have like the mouse separate on the screen, obviously there's other times where your mouse is now like separate from game, your cursor. So in here you can hover over stuff to get more information. I can't 100% confirm if it's going to be for like everything there, but
okay, no,
that'd be a cool feature. Something at least to bring you guys.
What do you guys think the little gold corner is for the items that they bought? The little top corner, there's a little gold something going on in that corner there. For the boots and the affliction.
I think that's a visual representation of just like the block itself.
Well, no, because look at the barrier that's right there to the right of Stormquiver.
There's a shield.
I think that's literally just showing you the tiers. If you have a level 1 item, it'll be bronze. A tier 2 item, it'll be silver.
Okay.
Or tier 3, which is a full item, it'll be gold. So you can.
It's representing full item. Okay.
Like
and that's kind of what I was thinking too.
A new player could easily look at it and be like, "Hey, that's a finished item," or look at that one. That's not a finished item. That's a mid-tier item.
I love the little things that you guys catch like that.
What is so under Fresher's build? What's that far right item with the bubble? What is that?
Yeah, that's a different icon.
Are you able to tell us?
Ryan is zipping his lips. I can't say that, but that is definitely a different icon.
So, we can speculate the fact that it has to do with armor because we see a fucking shield in it. We see a bubble, so I'm gonna go ahead and go on a whim and say
War
Aegis tier 2 item that actually gives you the bubble without giving you the full stats. Similar to how there's a tier 2 U-Mantle item that gives you the cleanse without getting the full stats or the favor scaling of the full item. Having more mid-tier items like that give you those benefits, like we have for pen and stuff like that, would be cool. Or what?
It's a brand new item that we don't know what it is.
It could be, but considering it's a silver, I would still say even if it's a new one, I'm thinking it's a mid-tier that builds up into War Aegis. Change my mind.
We don't have the time for that.
True. You know what I don't like? I don't like how big this purple card is, which I'm assuming that's to show us that you got the ward equipped, you got a rad pulse equipped, etc. I don't think that's as significant, to be honest. Like, if that card got split in half, and then the other half, whether it be the top half or the bottom half, put the person's gold there, I would be okay with that. So you don't gotta like rearrange too much.
Yeah, you don't need that.
But whether they got a ward or a rad pulse or whatever new item they're gonna come out with, I quite frankly don't care. Yeah, whatever trinket, I don't care that much about it. I still want to see it, but I don't necessarily think it should be that big.
Yeah, nobody's really checking to see what trinkets people are running.
Unless you're a Kalari.
Yeah, unless it's a rad pulse, but...
I do have to point out, though, for you guys, especially you, Windu, being ADC main, don't ever get Tiago or Jay offlane as your supports, because they will steal all your CS, man.
Yeah.
Bro, I will fight my support for CS.
Jungle,
let's go.
So I'm not really sure about the meta here, but yeah.
Right, yeah. I mean, but both Mario's having 280, the ADCs only have 98. I mean, come on now, CS,
man,
can't be doing that. So
now, you bringing up the whole kill stealing thing, or the minion stealing and stuff. I don't expect Ryan to answer this. Quite frankly, this is more on the speculation side, but I genuinely hope to freaking everything that they actually consider reworking on like the experience gain and the gold gain, because the last time I brought it up to individuals like Fresher or like Frost, they told me the gold is economy is exactly where we want it to be. But even that, like today, we're playing a match. I want to say Plaz was 9 kills, 0 deaths, 120 minion farm. He had Gravedigger crossbow, boots, and then like a tier 2 item. That's it. And I was just like,
to me.
well, that's what I'm saying. I would like it, and I get it. It was like 15, 17 minutes in. I get it. Maybe you don't want that much that early. But if somebody's wrecking that hard, I know bounty system. If you killed somebody 3 times in a row, you're not going to get much off of it. But if somebody's 9-0, out farming their team and the enemy team, I'm at least expecting 3 to 4 items. You get what I mean? And every time that I brought it up, it's just like, it's exactly the way that we want it to be.
Well, it takes also
which
like
just brings up more questions.
over 40 minutes for people to get full build, even then, even if they're doing well and have farm and been farming all game. So I think that needs to be looked at.
I don't know about saying that everything is exactly where we want it to be. When it comes to that kind of stuff, this like when balance is still always ongoing.
Yeah.
But that is something that like it's tricky because like myself on Murdock, I remember what was the last game? I think it was like 25-30 minutes in. I had 10 kills, 7 deaths, and I had 3 items.
So I think
it's
like if you're over 30 minutes in, you should almost be full build in a normal MOBA.
I mean, with 10 kills, 7 deaths, 30 minutes, yeah, I'm expecting you to be 3-4 items. Because I'm assuming that, of course, has to do with what bounties you collected. You know what I'm saying? If you, for some reason, unfortunately got those 10 kills and didn't collect any bounty along the way, you're at 10 kills, but now you're at 2 items instead. Like, it relies heavily on the bounty. And especially since they worked a lot on nerfing bounties because they don't want too many people to get fed too early, because that was an issue. You would have a carry out of nowhere get 7 kills, he's at 3 items now. And people were like, oh, that's too much, that's too fast. So they kind of nerfed the bounty system a little bit. But it's, I don't like that, for example, as a carry, if you're not running king, you're throwing. Because you need the extra economy. You get me? I don't like the fact that as a carry, even if you have king, if you killed 2 out of 4, but you killed the wrong 2, your support just got a 1200 bounty and you only got like 450, 500.
I'm an ace hunter guy all the way.
Man,
I know I'm supposed to use king. I'm just an ace hunter, dude. Especially on Murdock when I want that little boost of speed in the fights.
Bro, I went ace hunter today on one of our custom matches. And let me tell you, I was mind blown because I'm over here like, okay, my Grux on my team is 1-6. I'm 9-3. He's at 80 CS. I'm at 143 CS. This man was half an item behind me. I was like, get me out. He only has 1 kill and he's half an item behind me. I was like, I hate this.
To purchase items.
And then my stream was like, you don't have...
Mid lane's difficult to purchase items.
Bro, my stream was like, you don't have king, so that's why you're not that far ahead. I was like, he doesn't have king either. He's got like Beast Hunter and Rogue, and he's half an item behind me. This is stupid. Oh, I just honestly hope that, like, you know, like a lot of visual changes are coming, which I'm excited for, quite frankly. And I know balance changes are going to come as well. But it's just like a 2-part question for me. Like, are they actually going to take a look at economy? And if they don't, because it's where they want it to be, my question would then be where, like, how do they want this economy to be? Because I don't see the clear picture. Even talking to them as a tester sometimes, I don't see the clear picture.
I wouldn't be able to confirm us saying that it's exactly where we want to be, because like we have new stuff coming in that's going to affect economy, and balance is going to have to be looked at, like the shrines.
Like the shrines,
for example. Yeah, because they're worth stuff too, and we haven't really confirmed what each of them is yet, I don't believe. So I won't get into it, but they might affect like your income as well, like the actual buffs themselves. So
even attaining the shrine is going to be extra income because it's like an extra buff, so to speak.
For the whole team, or just for the jungler though?
They're not just for junglers.
Just whoever grabs it, whether it be mid lane or...
You have 1 on each side of mid, and then you've got...
one at the outside of the lanes.
The community's figured it out, because since we did the jungle rework and sort of map rework, there's been these empty spots in the jungle for a long time where they're going. So a lot of people have already figured out where they are. But yeah,
I've mentioned it a few times.
It basically
It's the
depends on
pockets.
who needs it more. I would think. Like I can't say what the buffs are, but like the one that's closer to like the offlane or whatever. I guess it would depend on if does the offlaner need it in order to continue his lane.
Is it better
or
for the
should
offlaner or the jungler?
Yeah, it's scenario driven, right? So
I feel unfortunately like, although you say it could be for anyone, but I think the meta will be that the jungler just gets it all. Because like you feed the jungler and then they gank at like way like a couple cards ahead or even one card ahead because they've taken all the shrines in the game.
I think
I
it'll
could
depend
see
heavily.
it, but they're not going to be everywhere at the same time. You know what I mean? Like just like, you know, like red buff and blue buff are going to spawn at a specific time. The shrines are also going to spawn at a specific time. And it really is one of those things that it's like, hey, one mid laner went right to get a shrine. The other mid laner went to his right to get a shrine.
Actually, I have a
Now,
question about the
jungles can
shrines.
counter. What's up?
Are they gonna be immune to enemies hitting like your shrines, or can you steal shrines? Like,
They're
is
not-
it for?
The shrines are neutral.
Yeah, they're
They're all
neutral.
neutrals.
Neutral
Yeah.
objectives, which means that neither team owns them. They're just there to be
Right, so
taken.
you can
Yeah.
invade and take shrines really quickly.
You'd probably want, like, for instance, early game, I would think that there's going to be a certain point when the jungler has finished their one side of camps where they plan some of the rotation around securing buffs for their lane. Like, as your jungler's finished his camp and he's rotating towards the other side, he'll dip by to help you take your mid buff. Or if you're like just fresh, full of everything, you don't have any reason for taking the buff, depending on what it is, he might take it so that he can continue his rotation through the jungle. I think it's going to be scenario driven. Like there might be some junglers who just try to take all the buffs to walk around like Thanos with a bunch of like floating buffs around them. You never know.
Yo, can we talk about the Sevarog skin real quick? On a side note,
Yeah.
I have some constructive feedback as a golf player.
Oh no, here we go.
Where is this
Here
Sevarog
we
going? He's got 3 drivers and 2 irons. What's he doing? This man's going to Top Golf? Like, what the fuck?
Hey man, he was golfing with his full kit and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to battle," so he just took what he needed, you know.
Yo, he lost them bitches along the way.
Can you imagine him trying to do his ultimate with a putter though? Come on.
I'm just waiting
Bro,
for the clips of
imagine-
people yelling for.
You know what would be funny? You know what would be funny though? And this would take a whole lot of animation, maybe for the future. Who knows? I'm suggesting it. Imagine that what club he uses will depend on how many stacks he has. If he has no shoulders, he's swinging with a putter.
That'd
He's
be
got
cool.
baby
Bad
shoulders,
idea.
sandwich. He's got a bigger shoulders, here comes a 3-iron. You feel me? Like the bigger
That'd be
his
fun.
shoulders are, it changed that. I'm just saying
Right.
that would be lit.
Okay, so what if when he goes to root, he puts down a little like placer coin like they do in golf for their ball?
Oh, the little
The
tease.
coin
or
shows
whatever
up.
it's
That'd be a
called.
cool
Yeah.
animation. That would be cool.
That's his root, is a coin.
He just whips one out. That would be really cool. I love how like concept to reality, like the stage between the two, how it
Yeah.
should appear. Like it's meant. Like, oh man, Thiago does some amazing work.
Yeah, I
gotta
saw
say.
that concept
Is that
in
the
the vault a while ago. I was looking at it on one of my streams. I'm like, that's really cool. And when I saw it in the weekly update, I was like, that's awesome that they took that concept.
Wait till you guys see the one that we teased with the first or second weekly update.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a spicy
Ooh.
one. I can't wait for everybody to see.
There we go.
It is spicy.
Can we, with the speaking of the skin, can we get an emote of him doing the Tiger Woods like?
I'm so done.
No, we need a Happy Gilmore emote. No Tiger Woods.
We could
Bro,
Oh, man.
I'm a-okay with a voice line from Ryan saying 4. I'm a-okay with that. We can make that happen. I'm just saying, we can make that
Have
happen.
the technology.
It would be hilarious. It would definitely be hilarious. I can just see this. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to yell at it to knock a whole team into my tower. I just love it. And
A 4
let me
compilation.
go back. Let me go back to see if we.
I'm curious.
Okay.
This isn't we're being shown Sevarog with kind of big shoulders here, or are this because the spikes still usually get bigger? No,
Yep.
like
Yeah,
spiky,
this is
spiky,
Second
spiky.
last stacked here.
Yeah, it's stage 3.
Is there a reason why we got shown this one? Is it just because the long spikes make the picture too long?
Yeah, that's probably one of them.
We had to
yeah.
compress the picture a little bit.
You want to get in as good as you can, right? So that everybody can see everything. So with the full spikes, it would be like, a lot taller of a picture.
Yeah.
But it shows off like what his shoulder textures are like and color. So I think
I do like how in depth that is. Like the textures are great. Like this picture, like it's a great job. Great job.
Yeah, I love it. He's the art team has been working on quite a few things while the main dev team has been grinding away on the patch. There's a lot of exciting stuff coming up in the future for sure. Not just like skins and stuff. There's some other exciting things that we'll be talking about in the future.
Right. I'm
Do you guys
excited
remember
to see
when the
what else
Sevarog
we
skin was
have.
shown?
I'm sorry, the Sevarog skin. What?
Oh my bad. When was this first shown?
This
golf
was a
skin.
little while ago. I mean,
It's been in the art vault on Discord for a while.
It was in an art vault, and then after Artbang joined the team, we put out a poll to see what our community thought about more comedic skins.
Yes.
And everybody loved it, so we decided that it would be a skin that would come
I think
into
that's a
the
good
game.
idea because like one of the things that Epic did wrong was like they kind of didn't try to do any like funny looking skins, and that really like put them in a box of like recoloring the same stuff because it's cool looking, but there's no like funny looking skins. So it's I don't know. I think
they
funny
did
looking
do
skins
funny
count just
because like
as
the
much
Summer
as-
Fun Twin Blast was
Yeah,
pretty
that's what I was
funny.
gonna say, but it's the
Yeah,
only
they
one I
did
can
a
really
few.
think of.
It's not that
Yeah.
funny.
Bro,
I don't know.
Grux Pelt Chimera skin. Come on, that's a
That's
BM
not funny.
skin.
That's cool.
That is funny.
I don't think that's that
That's
funny.
BM.
You know what I mean? Like funny is like I don't
Like
know.
quirky?
A golfing Sevarog is funny.
I got you. Just like
box Grux.
Yeah, like
Box
that would be
Grux, yeah,
funny.
yeah, that.
They could have done that, but they didn't. They should have done that.
But I'm excited to see because of this. Obviously, I remember that vote and everybody voted for it because here it is. So I'm excited to see what other comedic skins we have and for what characters we're going to get them for. I think it can be great.
Dude, I thought the votes were positive for this skin concept, but when we put out the Tough Richter skin concept, it's like I think it's what like 0.01% negative. Like the whole thing is just everyone loves it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
What?
I'm really excited about that skin.
Why a Richter skin?
Why
Just out of
not?
curiosity, is it just because it was there? And it was like, hey, let's see what people think. You know what I mean?
Why not, man? No, it's he fits it really well. Like in my personal opinion, like he's a tough skin. I think it's Richter's perfect to have one because he's just the biggest person in the game right now.
So
Like,
is
he's
it
massive.
easier? Because I guess we've only seen original skins from SMS for Grux, Sevarog, and Richter. Is it easier to kind of?
We've had more, quite a few
Okay.
more. Yeah,
But like,
there's-
I guess like with actual like added features, like not recolors.
yeah, we have Cyber Quang, Boris Lumberjack, Bone Collector Chimera. Who else is?
Well, that
textures?
actually then kind of hammers in
Cyberquang.
my question, which would be that is it easier to design skins for male characters that aren't anatomically kind of humanoid than like the female characters on the roster?
That I'm not too sure of. That'd be a question for Art or Jay when it comes to like
Yeah.
designing
Because
concepts.
I've noticed that there's not a lot of even like Twin Blast or Murdock haven't seen a lot of original skins yet. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's an anatomic thing that's harder to design, or
I don't think so. We did one for Moragesh. She's pretty humanoid
that's true.
female. Twin Blast did have one, although it wasn't like anything crazy. There was some texture changes, but for his the COVID pack skin,
The gorilla
Yep.
one?
Right.
Yeah.
but
Windu
yeah,
favorite.
I'm not too sure about it. It would be definitely a question for Art Bang, or Mr. J.
Mhm. The skins are really cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the skins just come out, quite frankly, at a random rate. Like I don't particularly see a pattern like you know,
Oh,
like
yeah.
this is the most played. Yeah, like you remember how back in the day they were like, yo, Chimera is one of the most played junglers. We're gonna have 37 Chimera skins.
Oh yeah,
You
I
know?
forgot about that.
So
Remember there was
Like-
a race to be like the most played or the first one to get Mastery 10, and like people would like go for like 72 hours without sleeping for it. It was nuts. They were like
Yeah,
did that,
promoting
Brian.
not sleeping for a while.
dude, I
Yeah.
did that. Shout out to Sneaky and Patriot and all those people back in the day.
Yeah.
But
Those were
it
the
wasn't.
days.
It was rough. Forget that. But I don't know. Like, do you guys have numbers? Of course, because we see them on the website about the pick rate of each individual character and stuff like that.
Right.
When do you think, like, probably when I would assume probably when the population gets a little bit higher, that, you know, skin choices might actually be decided by how much a character gets played? Probably no.
That will definitely affect things as marketing goes, but it's also going to be around, like, let's say certain events that come out. If the event has a certain theme to it, who best fits that theme, and who do we want to make an amazing skin for to make that event pop even more, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a few different things that affect it. It's not just like popularity, but also like what makes most sense in certain scenarios. But I think popularity is a big one for characters like Richter and stuff. Sevarog also saw a lot of play, and personally I love the fact that Sevarog is getting skins as somebody that only has 3 recolors or 2 recolors or something
Right.
like that.
He
So
needs a
I've
skin
always
for real.
wanted him to have some beastie skins. But yeah, it's there's a lot of different variables that affect it, but what people want to see is definitely the major one.
Mm-hmm.
And you get that through the stats of like what people play. But yeah,
Now-
a lot of people ask about like why do we push skins and stuff like that, and does it slow down development and all this stuff. But we're at the point where we have different like departments, and there's independency among these departments, so that people can work on this kind of stuff while the other team is working away on like game changing stuff. So it's pretty cool. And the reason why we have skins now is not only to basically get a work pipeline in place for when we're creating skins, but also to test our future revenue model of a free-to-play system. So a lot of these things are in place right now so that we can get those numbers, so that we can make the proper switch from a paid early access to a free-to-play model. And we're doing a pretty good job at testing that out, and I'm feeling pretty confident that with this art team we'll have a lot of good stuff that people will really want to get for themselves. And also of course we're working on stuff for people who are unable to invest any money into the game. Like, we obviously want stuff in place. We don't want every single player to be like emptying out their pockets. That's not like how we see things. That's why we have Matter in there, so that people can purchase stuff with Matter
And skin marks.
and the skin marks. And we're working towards more things for those kind of players, so that there's more to grind towards as well. So
Like
it's
Twitch
gonna be,
event and stuff like that.
yeah, lots of stuff like that. Yeah. So it's gonna be fun. And now that we've like done tons and tons of testing, I feel that once this patch rolls out and once we kind of feel out how the game's going and we continue our development, that we can start really kicking off some awesome marketing stuff. So it's gonna be fun.
I'm excited.
So if somebody has a skin concept that they want to throw, just put it in the art vault under Discord.
Yeah.
Maybe. That would just be the
you
spot.
Put it in the art vault. Another really good way, if you want other people to see it more, is not just us. Is if you have a Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, anything, just tag us anywhere, or just hashtag #PlayFault, and we'll find it.
I think it'd be a good idea to actually turn like community skin ideas into like I don't know, maybe once every like quarter, make it like an actual
contest?
realization, like choose a community skin and be
Yeah.
like, this is a community skin, so
And
we're gonna
whichever
make
skin
this
wins,
the
you're
actual,
gonna
you could
try to
vote on
actually
it,
get
or
it
it could
on.
be a totally like on your side, you choose the best community skin out of the options. That'd be a good idea to get engagement.
Yeah, for sure. I have a couple ideas set in place for art-related stuff to kind of bring out the artists more, because I am looking for some, not just for community showcases and stuff like that, but for some other things. I'm a huge art fan myself, and like a lot of the team is. That's why we have the art vault. And so if there are artists out there who have skin concepts, and no matter, even if they're not very confident with them, place them in the art vault, tag us.
Yeah, like I've seen concepts like for Smite, for example, I've seen on Reddit some concepts that aren't like, they're not very clean on their end, but the concept is so good that high res is like, yeah, that's awesome, we'll use it. Even though like you might not be the best artist, if you have a good idea, that's what they're looking for, right?
Bro, I get
Yeah,
Sock
it's
Cap to draw
exactly
my
it.
idea.
There you go. Yeah. I still have to get a PFP made by him, man.
If y'all get a chance, get a profile picture by Sock Cap. We could literally draw it while he's at work.
I
It is
asked
the
him.
most
He hasn't made
priceless
one
thing
yet.
ever. Get
Yeah,
on
is
him. It is
Is
priceless.
Jake still rocking his? I bet you he is.
The
so-
colored version
Yeah.
of his? Yeah, I think so. He went into Microsoft Paint, colored the picture that Sockcap drew of him, and just made
That's
it his
great.
profile picture. He's like, yeah, I'm rocking it. That's mine. Man, so... Huh. I don't know. I can't help but just wonder. Because, like, for example, here towards the end, it says, we can't wait to reach the state of the game. We plan to make the release worthy of your amazing support, of course. Taking a ton of feedback, suggestions from you all the past few months. We hope that patch 13.0 addresses a lot of your submissions since early access launch. So I have awesome stuff to come. See you next week, Fall Fam. So the team is aiming for a March release, which is dope. Now,
patch 13, yeah.
for patch 13, yes, they're aiming for a March release. Now, is there a specific reason for March? Because they easily could just be like, hey, we're aiming for April, and then give themselves the leeway. You get what I'm saying there? Like,
We've wanted this patch out for a bit. We're just taking our time with it. It could have been earlier, but we decided we wanted to take our full time with it. We're testing everything out because it's not just the implementation of a completely new HUD with a new staff member who's been making it all and like getting all of that sort of going and a pipeline worked out, which they have, and they're doing a very good job at it. Obviously, if we're showing stuff, then we must be pretty far along with it. So it's all about just making sure everything's working exactly how we want it and making sure everything's in place, because a lot of people have their focus on the HUD and they're wondering why it's taking so long if it's just the HUD. But I definitely suggest, for if people do feel that way, to go back to the very first weekly update and to see all the stuff that is actually coming other than the HUD, like this input buffering, the client-side prediction stuff that's going to affect like people with bad ping.
Quality of life stuff is huge.
All that quality of life stuff is going to change feel and immersion and essentially tackle a lot of the stuff that our community has been giving in feedback for a while. Like a lot of the stuff that people have put in complaints about, stuff that people have given advice or their feedback for. Like a lot of that's getting addressed with these changes, because a lot of it goes towards like the immersiveness and the feel. So on top of all that and testing and making sure all those things go well, we're also completely changing our HUD and UI. So we also have to test every single little element of the HUD, like every little pop-up, and there's a lot of them now. Every little feature, all that stuff has to be ironed out to make sure it's working properly, so that when we present this thing that everyone's been waiting for a long time, it hits them how it should. And it should be a nice, clean, good process for them. So obviously we want to take our time with it. And the weekly updates are basically a way of keeping you guys involved with what is coming out with the patch while we're grinding away on it, because we know we don't want to just leave our community in the dark while we dive down into this patch, because time, I'm going to tell you right now, from an inside perspective, time flies. When you're working like this hard on this, like all this kind of stuff, Mondays turn into Fridays like nothing. So like it's
for working from home in general. If you work from home, you could seriously lose track of time.
Yeah, it's
rough.
Like, I'll sit down at like 10 and I'll be like, all right, I'll start my day, and then I'll go to make a coffee just really quick, and then I see my clock in my kitchen and I'm like, it's 4 o'clock. Like what? It's nuts, man. But
You need to get a new coffee machine if it takes that long to make coffee.
Yeah, so basically it's just like time can fly by really fast when you're in development, and we're just making sure that we have a way to talk to you guys. But we're working on it and it's feeling really good, but we're not going to give it to you until we know 100% that everyone is going to be able to enjoy it. So we want to make sure that it's 100% ready to go.
So the way it sounds to me is them saying March is what they're aiming for, is giving the leeway that you were talking about. Instead of going to April, they already gave themselves that leeway, and that tells us, it's a little hint towards us that that's how close it is.
Well, we want it to be in March, but again, like when we move into there's like different testing stages. There's like the like internal testing of like making sure it's like ready and like on a build and is good to go. Then there's like the other testing where the people go through and, you know, check every single hero, all the items, that kind of stuff. And then you have your final testing stage, which is like play testing, where all the testers just jump in and start running through it so that we can feel out the last thing. And when we get, each stage of testing can come with its own like bugs and stuff that you find. So as we move into another stage or the final stage, there could be a ton of other stuff that pops up. So we don't want to say guaranteed March in case that stuff does happen to pop up. So we've learned from our mistakes when it comes to putting out like hard deadlines, and we are getting more and more of a feel for not a feel. We're basically laying out more and more of a proper production pipeline so that we hit our estimates. And so far, we're doing very good. And I'm really hoping that we get this out to you guys as soon as possible because it just feels great.
You know what I'm excited for, man?
What's that?
As far as Strange Matters, you know, like as a team, because, you know, we see the work that gets put in and everything, but I think I brought this up on the last like 2 videos that I talked about, the fact that you guys are, you know, quote unquote hiring for new individual people, several different positions and stuff. How big is the team right now?
17, 18? Yeah. 17
are there really
people?
17 people in the team?
I believe I could. That was the count when I made the presentation. Started making the presentation. Let me do a quick little.
So let's say like 17, right? Now, how would you exactly gauge whether you need more people in a specific department? Are you just going to go based off of the workload, I'm assuming? Or is it like more on anticipation of what you do want to come down the road? You know what I mean?
I would say it'd be a mix of that. I'm not the project manager itself, so I don't really like have a feel for what requires hiring a new person for that. It's just I would basically assume that if somewhere area is lacking, or if we want to increase workflow to a certain area, we would put out careers. Yeah, because if we want to increase the productivity of a certain area, that's the best way to do it, is to bring another person for it. Or we could be looking to expand into another area of something, and we need people for that. There's a lot of different things that could really bring that up, so it's hard for me to answer as the CM and marketing manager.
Where would somebody like DM, email, or stuff like that if they actually want to join, you know, want to like throw in an application, but it might not be a position that's officially listed, you know what I mean?
You can email me, or you can email the Fault one. So either RyanRed@strangematter.co or Fault@strangematter.co, and we'll get the email and I'll pass it directly on to the team, because I usually am like looking at a lot of that stuff anyway. I don't look at the actual career ones that come in, but I'm constantly getting messages from people who are wanting to contact the team and stuff. So basically, yeah, send me on an email and I'll bring it to the people that need to see it.
I just figured that'd be worth asking and throwing in, because you know how many people actually are asked, they're like, hey man, if I could, I would work on this project, or if I could, I would do this and stuff. And I'm like, who says you can't? Just send a message. You never know.
Our two concept artists that are now like main parts of the team, they started as just community people who posted in the art vault.
True.
So yeah, never be afraid to reach out to us.
Now, when it comes to hiring, you guys are looking mainly, because the way I read it is the way I understand it, you're looking to hire like experienced people.
Correct.
Is there any chance of getting somebody who's not experienced, is like, you know, out of school but still wanting to learn? Like, is that a possibility?
Like an internship sort of deal?
I wouldn't say that there is time to teach people this early, essentially. Like if we were to bring on a new person and somebody had to devote a bunch of time just to sort of teach them what they needed to do, yeah, it would wind up slowing things down for that area. So it depends on the area. Like you might not have a lot of work experience, but you have a lot of talent. Like you could be someone that has never worked as a 3D modeler, but you have a crazy skills 3D modeling. Like those people would still be looked at 100%. Okay. So it's not 100%, like it's not just your like work resume, but it's what you can do.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Bet. Is there any other questions you guys have? We're getting close to the hour here, by the way. That's why I'm asking.
Is there anything left from the weekly update you guys wanted to talk about?
No, I think we got everything.
I mean, we pretty much covered everything as far as when it came down to it.
Right.
I gotta say, like, something totally random on it. I noticed that on the Gideon GIF, whatever you want to call it. I noticed that there's an actual update on the screen that tells you press Control 1 or Control 2 to spend your favor.
Oh no, it did actually show up.
Yeah,
Why
like
do
I
always miss these things?
Oh yeah.
like, you get me, like just little things like that. And I don't know if you guys also noticed, bottom left hand side, you also see a counter. Now it's 3 out of 5. It doesn't necessarily go anywhere because he's just smacking the air. Now I don't know what that means. Could that be his passive? Could that be something else? I hope to God they're actually monitoring passives in some way. If not, it could be otherwise. Stop smirking like that, Ryan. But like, it's just those little things that you see in there, and it's like, hey, like I actually appreciate those little things being shown in there, or even if it's as simple as the redesign of the actual icons themselves in the actual in the clip. Like when you look at it, you're able to see the redesign of the of the icons, the shape, the upgrading, you know, how they got the button layouts and stuff. Like it's a lot cleaner. I don't know why they chose yellow as the cooldown timer. That's a weird one for me. I definitely would have put like red or something to let you know, like, hey, you can't do it. You know what I mean? Yellow's caution.
Oh, there is red there.
Red does happen.
Watch the ultimate. Watch the ultimate.
So, I mean, the red happens when you spam it and it tells you can't use it.
That's actually me pushing it once. It's taking.
Well, you spam something.
The red shows up when you can't use the ability, but like when it's on cooldown, it's yellow.
Right, but you'll notice that I'm not waiting to press these buttons. I just press them and it all happens.
Right.
That's input buffering.
I was about to say you spam something in there because I see cannot use ability.
Check out some spam. You'll see me hit right click twice. Boom boom. Yeah.
Interesting. So it's actually registering it twice, even though you can only use it once.
Yeah, it's showing that I'm hitting it twice. It's basically me, like, I only had to do it once, but I'm not fully used to input buffering on here yet.
I've heard a lot more hype about the client side than the HUD. Like, from people that I play with, they're so hyped for client side.
Yeah.
Because you got so many people in EU and NA that want to throw hands. Like, they want to be like, I'm a better ADC than you, but I guess we'll never know. And they're ready.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting for sure.
Yeah.
Right, I'm more excited for the smoothness of everything as opposed to the HUD, because I know everybody's been waiting for the HUD. But like, I don't care how the game looks. I just want it to perform smoothly. You know what I mean?
I never truly realized, because like I spend a lot of my time when I'm in game in cinematic mode recording for like marketing stuff or other reasons, and like the HUD itself, even if you don't feel like it would, the HUD affects how everything like looks and comes off to you. Like, even though like you put the game in cinematic mode and everything just looks so much crazier. And now with this HUD, you don't need cinematic mode for that. I am personally in love with it, and I can't wait for everyone to see the entire thing. Actually, I can't wait to just show.
He's looking at it right now. He's like.
Maybe.
He's just teasing us.
Look for reflections.
Eyeballs. We'll get the reflection going. We'll get it.
Oh man,
I'm stoked.
So honestly, I'm going to cut it here because we are reaching that hour. Ryan, I appreciate you joining us.
thank you so much.
Cooch and Nikki, they're going to be here basically every single weekly update, so that'll be fine. You guys are going to see them. But go follow their YouTubes, which is still starting up. Go follow their Twitches. I guess every time I ask Ryan for a plug of any kind, he's just gonna say Strange Matter. So go follow Strange Matter website, Twitch, whatever, all that stuff.
I got the SoundCloud here. No, I'm joking.
Strange Matter SoundCloud. Where you at, bro?
I'm looking for people to collab with, man. I need to make some music in my free time with COVID stopping my band.
Hey, man, I've heard a lot of rumors. I don't believe it till I see the DM. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, you want to collab? Let's go. I'm
Bro,
DMing
what do you
right
mean?
now.
I'm the collab king. I'm always DMing people. Let's do a video. Let's go.
I'll send you a name of somebody I know that
There you
does
go.
music, Brian.
Awesome, dude. I'm always down. And everyone's like, oh, he's a metalhead, so he's not gonna like this stuff. It's not true. I like all music as long as it's written well.
He did my sub song and a couple other songs he's got on Spotify too. So
Hell yeah, I'll check it out for sure.
all right,
homies. We're gonna cut it here. Till the next video.
All right.
Bye.